All right, the number one key, you must sprint the floor every time. This is a transition offense. For it to be effective, your players must sprint the floor every time and run to their spots. They must know that if they run hard, they're going to score layups. They must know if they run hard and get down the floor, they're going to get open three-point opportunities. They must have the green light to take a good open three-point shot in transition. If they don't have that green light, they will slow down and continue to slow the game as it progresses, until eventually they're walking the ball up. If they know they have the green light, they will run hard and get down the floor for great primary early break opportunities. Number two, nobody leaks out in the break. You run the lanes only when the rebound has been secured. Defense is the most important thing, stopping the other team from scoring, and that does not finish until you rebound the basketball. Nobody leaks out until the rebound is secured. Number three, outlet to the point guard is critical. You must work on getting the basketball to the point guard. This offense is predicated on where the point guard distributes the basketball in his first pass down the floor, so it's critical that we get the ball to him. Your players, especially the point guard, has to know the difference between two major areas on the floor. I'll refer to it as the speed zone, the freeway area, from the top of the key on one end of the floor to the top of the key on the other end of the floor. And also the control zone, or the city area, from the top of the key to the basket. Those two areas, and knowing the difference between both, are keys to running this offense successfully. Number five, for success in any transition and secondary offensive system, your players must be able to play in two speeds. When they're in the freeway area, from top of the key to top of the key, it is full out sprint. They're out of their stance and they're running hard. When they're in the control area, the city zone, from the top of the key to the basket, they're in a much lower stance. They're working on short, quick change of directions, stops, change of speed, and they're in a lower stance, a much stronger stance, and they have to understand when they are in those separate areas on the floor and be able to play in two speeds. Number six, your transition game must take what the defense gives you. Be flexible. If a pass isn't open, don't force it. The point guard has several pass option opportunities in this offense. Don't be predictable. Change it up, pass it around, be flexible, keep the defense guessing. Number seven, execute the details and fundamentals of each option. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Make sure your players know the small parts of this offense that's going to make the whole offense look great. Catching the basketball, triple threat, shot fakes, dribble penetration, jump stops, their footwork. All of those are important key elements in making the whole offense look and run great. The point guard must keep his dribble until the pass option is available. He should never dribble across half court, pick up the basketball, and then decide where he's going to pass the ball. He must know where and when he's going to deliver the ball before he picks up his dribble. And he should never pass the ball ahead up the floor unless he feels, in our primary break system now, that they will have an opportunity for a layup or a three-point shot. If it's not there, he continues to push the ball up the sideline and will deliver the pass once he gets by half court. Number nine, players sprinting the floor must turn their heads and find the ball just after crossing half court. This offense, again, is predicated on what the point guard does with the basketball, so it's important to know what side of the floor he's on and where the ball is and who he's going to pass it to. So turn and find the ball while they're sprinting as they cross half court. Anytime the ball enters the low post, all remaining set plays are no longer in effect. Once the ball enters the low post, whether it's at the beginning or at the end of our offensive system, all plays are off. We now will run our 3-out, 2-in motion. Or we could run 4-out, 1-in, which we call 41, or our 5-out, nobody inside, our 50 motion. But once the ball goes inside, the opposite post player will dive to the basket for the opposite rebound position. The other three players will shape up on the perimeter, and we'll play 3-out, 2-in basketball. Key number 11, you can run this pass option, primary and secondary break, versus man-to-man and matchup zone defenses. You should run only the primary break options into your zone offense versus all basic zone defenses. This is an offensive system that will be run on both made and missed baskets. But if you feel that you're bringing the ball up the floor every time on the right side of the floor, it's a good idea for your point guard to mix it up and start pushing it up the left side of the floor. Again, a lot of times, which side you bring the ball up is predicated on where the rebound comes off. But oftentimes in a made basket, your post player can take the ball out either to the right or the left side. It's a good opportunity for him then to mix it up and to run some of the left side transition, which is the same, but it's given defenders different looks.